guys, now what happens when a nostalgic 80s dessert meets a rich fudgy brownie? Well, you get this. It's our Black Forest Brownie. It's bold, decadent, and just dramatic enough to be interesting at a bake sale or a dinner party. In this video, we'll show you how to make cherry compote, the ultimate shiny crust brownie batter, and how to bring it all together with a little flair at the end. Don't forget, all of the recipes are on studiokitchen.com.au. Let's get into it. We're starting with the cherry compote. Use tin cherries, fresh ripe ones, or defrosted frozen cherries. Whatever you got, just make sure you've got some of the juice too. Add your cherries to a medium saucepan with caster sugar and a good splash of Kirsch. That's the cherry liqueur that gives this recipe its signature kick. Place it over a medium heat and bring it to a gentle boil. We're stirring regularly to prevent sticking and help break down that fruit. After a few minutes, the syrup starts to thicken and the cherries begin to slump, and that's your cue to make a slurry. Mix cornflour with the reserved cherry juice or water if needed, then stir that into the pan. It will thicken fast. Keep it on low heat for a couple more minutes, stirring constantly. Once it's thick and glossy, take it off the heat, set it aside to cool. You'll want it at room temperature before we swirl it into that brownie. Onto the brownie. Put your butter into a small saucepan and just melt it gently. You can also use a microwave for this. All we're trying to do is melt that butter, and we're going to leave it on the side to cool down. And we're also going to prepare your square tin. So I've got a 23cm by 23cm tin. I'm spraying it with a light spray of oil, and then a piece of baking paper, slightly larger. I'm just making 4 little cuts in the corners so it fits in nice and neatly. Pour the butter into a bowl of a stand mixer, add your caster sugar, brown sugar and salt, and get in the whisk attachment. Whisk it on high for 5 minutes until it starts to smooth out and look a little bit paler and a little bit fluffier. Get your oven preheated to 180 degrees and then grab the block of chocolate, and we're just going to chop it up into irregular chunks to add into our brownie at the end, and also to finish at the very end of this video. Crack all of your eggs into a little dish, and we're going to add those one at a time into our continually whisking sugar and butter. Halfway through, I'll give it a bit of a scrape just to make sure it's being mixed really well. And after each addition of each egg, continue to mix just for sort of 30 seconds or a minute. Make sure it's well in there. And after all the eggs have been mixed, continue to whisk for another 5 minutes, and this helps trap the air and keeps that iconic shiny crust on top. Keep whisking it. Also add your vanilla and add your Kirsch at this stage. Take the bowl off the machine and fold in the sifted cocoa powder and the sifted flour using a spatula. Mix it gently but thoroughly. You don't want to lose the air you've just whipped in, but you do want to mix this all together really well. Finally, we're going to fold through those chunks of chocolate. These will melt into gooey pockets of joy, but just keep about 15 grams back so that you can finish your brownies at the very end of this video. Spoon the batter into your prepared tin, get a spatula and just scrape all of that out. Looks amazing. And then a small palette knife or a spoon, just kind of level it out, and we're just going to try and smooth it out there. It looks pretty smooth on top, but we are going to ripple, so don't worry too much. Just making sure that it goes into all of the edges before putting it on a tea towel, and then here's a tip, just tapping it down just to make sure we eliminate any air pockets. Look at that cool cherry compote. We're gonna do the compote swirl, so drop spoonfuls of that cherry compote across the surface of your brownie. Gonna do about 10 spoons worth. We're gonna leave some compote behind to use that at finishing at the end. Once all of the compote has been put on top, and as you can see I'm doing it really sort of rustically, we're going to swirl it into the batter gently with the end of a spoon or a palette knife. It looks so good, smells amazing as well, and this is going to add just such a wonderful burst of flavour and fruit to this brownie on top of the surface. We're going to bake the whole thing as is, so just swirling it in there and you're going to get these amazing pockets of cherry. Don't forget, keep about 100 grams of that compote left for the final flourish at the very end. Now we're going to bake this brownie at 175 degrees, so put it into the oven and reduce that temperature to 175. Now if you want gooey fudgy centre, go for a 35-minute bake. Prefer a firmer, more structured brownie, add 5 minutes, and you can even add more if you like it. I love my brownie fudgy. This recipe is flexible, so bake it the way you like it, and once it's baked, leave it to cool in the tin for at least an hour. I know it's hard, but it's going to be worth it. Let's get this finished. Whip thickened cream to firm peaks, then gently ripple in the reserved cherry compote. It shouldn't be fully mixed, just enough for that marbled effect. You're going to leave it in the bowl. For the finishing touches of this brownie, once it is cool, we're going to turn it out, and you're going to cut this brownie into 16 equal pieces. So cut 4 by 4, and if it's super fudgy, which mine is, make sure you clean your knife in between cuts just to keep the edges nice and neat. It does get a little bit messy this, but I do love it when it's nice and fudgy. Once your brownie's been cut, you're going to spoon a generous dollop of that rippled cream onto each brownie square, and you're going to top it with either a fresh cherry or preserved cherry and a little tiny rosemary sprig. Trust me, it's subtle and savoury and kind of brilliant. It looks really cool on top. Sprinkle some of that reserved grated or chopped chocolate on top, and there you have it. It's my Black Forest brownie, nostalgic, indulgent, ready to steal the show, whether you're plating them up for a party or sneaking one from the fridge. They're going to keep for a week if they last that long. Thanks for baking along with me. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. There's loads more coming from Studio Kitchen. Happy baking and enjoy.